the Cambodian and Thai armies have exchanged gunfire along their shared border, marking a significant escalation in tensions between the two countries, which have been simmering for some time. The two countries are now at war, with both sides targeting each other, utilizing a variety of means, from artillery to drones, rockets, and airplanes. Tensions first flared up in May when a recording of a phone call between Thailand's then Prime Minister and Cambodia's 72-year-old former Prime Minister Hun Sen was leaked. The current Prime Minister of Cambodia is the son of Hun Sen, but his father continues to be the real power in the country. In the leaked call, the Thai leader is heard admitting the Thai army was pressuring her to escalate conflict with Cambodia. There has been a decades-long relationship between the Shinawatras and Hun families. When Thaksin Shinawatra, who was close to Hun Sen, got into a conflict with the Thai army, they undertook coups in both 2006 and 2014. Hun Sen allowed scores of Thaksin supporters to seek sanctuary in Cambodia. The origin of the current conflict goes back to the period of French colonial rule at the beginning of the 20th century. At that time, the French drew up a boundary to separate Cambodia from Thailand, without considering the opinions or interests of the local people. But in the leaked phone call between the Thai and Cambodian leaders, Paetongtarn Shinawatra admitted that the Thai army was seeking escalation of the long simmering tensions. Cambodia has maintained very close ties with China, who is by far the biggest foreign investor in the country. The two countries also collaborate closely on international affairs and in the military domain. Thailand, on the other hand, has historically been close to the United States. The country is firmly embedded in the U.S.-designed security architecture for the Asia-Pacific. Despite this, the Shinawatra family has been a thorn in the side of the U.S., as the family has consistently called for closer Thai relation with China. The family patriarch Thaksin prioritized relations with China from the moment he came to power in 2001. His daughter, Paetongtarn, similarly sought to connect Thailand with China rather than with the U.S. The Thai army is using accusations against Paetongtarn of the lack of loyalty to Thailand. Her removal from power appears to have ended the political influence of the Shinawatra family in Thailand and handed complete political control back to the Thai military. The Jordanian branch of the Muslim Brotherhood announced its self-dissolution this week, according to a statement issued by the Islamic political movement after Amman outlawed the group and seized its assets. In a statement released by the group, it stated that amid current political developments, the movement found itself burdened by a name and concepts that have become controversial. Out of loyalty to our homeland, our Hashemite leadership, and in full alignment with our national belonging, we announce our self-dissolution as a legally licensed body, the group declared. Jordan announced a sweeping ban on the Muslim Brotherhood in April after accusing the Islamic political organization of planning attacks and stockpiling weapons. The crackdown included a raid of their offices and the removal of documents. With Palestinians constituting over 60% of Jordan's population, the Hashemite monarchy has been worried due to its open support for Israel. With protests growing, the monarchy moved to shore up its position by banning the group. The Muslim Brotherhood strategy through the Middle East is to work through the system to bring gradual change. The group's political wing, the Islamic Action Front, is Jordan's main opposition party and the largest in parliament, having won 31 out of 138 seats in last September's elections. But the strategy has failed to bring any meaningful change, and the ban and dissolution now clears the way for the monarchy, who has long been synchronized with the Israelis. The European Commission president has said EU-China relations had reached an inflection point due to deepening trade imbalances following her meeting with Chinese President Xi Jinping in Beijing. The meeting came against a backdrop of rising bilateral trade tensions, and as expected, the summit produced no meaningful breakthroughs on key issues and unresolved structural trade disputes, such as trade imbalances, limited market access, or industrial overcapacity. What became clear was that it was only China that was trying to place business front and center of the talks. The EU wanted to prioritize geopolitics. China is the key enabler of Russia's war in Ukraine. Kaja Kallas, the EU's chief diplomat, told the Financial Times ahead of the official meetings, "Trade and security are interlinked," she said. Rather than signing a trade agreement with China as the EU negotiates with the US, the EU has now closed the door to China, which leaves it in a vulnerable position in its talks with the US, who has been very clear they expect concessions in order to get access to the US market. The EU's political elite congratulated themselves on this win, but they have really undermined their own interest to serve US interests. The US has made clear in its tariff war it expects everyone to decouple from China. French President Emmanuel Macron has said France would recognize Palestine as a state. "I have decided that France will recognize the state of Palestine. I will make this solemn announcement at the United Nations General Assembly in September." France, like much of the West, has long called for two states, but Israel has refused to negotiate and agree any borders, whilst it's expanded its settlements and claims. Currently, Suddenly, Israel senses an opportunity of a lifetime to expand its borders under the guise of security. In July 2024, Israel's parliament passed a resolution that overwhelmingly rejected the establishment of a Palestinian state. The resolution passed in the Knesset, with 68 votes in favor and just 9 against. Macron's decision to recognize Palestine as a state is mostly symbolic, as Palestine in the West Bank or Gaza is occupied for all intents and purposes by Israel. This is why, despite 144 UN member states already recognizing Palestine as a state, has made little difference on the ground. France has no leverage to end the current Gaza war. Macron's idea seems to be to let the US impose a ceasefire and then for Paris to then be an important actor afterwards. With the US and Israel officially walking away from a ceasefire deal with Hamas, this announcement by Macron, like many French policies, will likely never see the light of day.